And girls, I hope you're having a good time at home with your family, and this is a good time to enjoy and at the same time have your online classes. And I'm very happy that we are having online classes for you all. And I just wanted to go over our Akhlaaq package that you have taken home, and this is due by March 31st. So we'll go over some of the worksheet that you've been working on, and inshallah that will help you finish your package. So if we look at the first chapter, it talks about a good word is like a tree. So here you are picking the right polite words that we should be using. So this is the beginning of akhlaq, is making sure that we use proper words when we are communicating with anyone. So this is a simple exercise that you will finish. And then here Rasulullah talks about that our good words are like trees. So here you would work on, for example, if you say that some of the good words are you are happy about something, and you convey that to someone else, and you can see here, you can write down that you're happy about something, and how does that grow as a tree. So if you look at the action, like when you say that you are happy, how does that translate to the other person? How does that person feel? And then does it grow as a tree, meaning they will be trusting you more because you make them feel better, and they might be your friends. And again, you can take another example of one of the good words is that you can say, I care for you. So when you say you care for you, how does that grow as a tree? You can, when you care for other people, they feel happy, and they feel like you care for them, and they feel a sense of belonging, and that's how it grows. And here, whichever word you have chosen, you can expand more on it and explain how does that word grow as a tree. So you can, this is like an essay that you can choose one of the topic to explain. And the basic and this helps us understand that sometimes we ask or we want more than what we need. And here we are thankful for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He has given us so much. But here we are listing some of the things as are important, but there are some things that are our wants. So you will list your needs inside the house, and maybe outside of the house you can list as some of your wants. That people have wants, which is, it's okay to have, but it's good to have the needs fulfilled first before we reach out for the wants. It makes us think that what is the focus for people to live their life, and what are some of the needs and what are some of the wants. And here it's this activity helps us look at nature and appreciate nature, and you will pick a place that you will reflect upon and record the details like time and weather. And then here, find one thing to look at carefully for 5 minutes and explain about it, like a tree, a flower, or a rock. And then you're going to write down how can you help protect this place and give an example. So this is more of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala giving us an environment, nature, that we need to care for. And this is that activity. And here's some more akhlaq terms that are good words, and there are some things to avoid. And when you look at these words, you're going on the next page. These words, you are going to pick the words from here, and you're going to write it down here. Is this word, does that word go under must do or must not do? And things of other actions you should do, and things of other action you should not do. Okay, and here it, one of the Akhlaaq chapter is that we always have a role model that we look upon and follow them as a role model. For example, Rasulullah is a role model. And what are the qualities? Here you're going to list what are the qualities of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam that you like. For example, Rasulullah never lied. Rasulullah was always caring and helping the poor and love children. So there are many traits you can write here. Remember the movie that you have watched about Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam last year? Maybe that will help you think about the traits or traits of a role model that you like in Rasulullah. And here, who else do you like as a role model? And it could be somebody in your family, and then you describe why you like that role model. And here are some of the traits of a role model that could make somebody special. And here you will write down, when you grow up, you should try to be a role model. Pick 3 traits from the list and explain how will you use them. So these you can pick 3 from here and write down how will you practice growing up to adopt those role models. And this exercise helps you understand that seeking knowledge can be through not just our, through our 5 senses. So this is just a fun activity, letting you know how does the 5 senses help us gain knowledge. So this is that activity. And being a teacher, so whatever we learn, and if we teach it to others, we learn 90% of what we teach. So this activity helps us grow. Not only does it help you teach other people, but it will help a student learn the topic themselves. So here you'll pick a topic, teach your partner something that you have learned before. It could be a recipe, something you have, a science project or science and Islam project. It could be anything. Just choose, write down your topic that you want to teach it to other. And how will you teach it? This is how will you teach. For example, you could teach by drawing a picture, showing example, or being a role model. So you'll write down here, and here you will write down the steps. So for example, first thing is I will research. Second, maybe it could be so research, and then it depends on your project. And this is now one of the chapters of Akhlaaq is how can you be fair and just. So fair and just doesn't mean that everyone gets an equal share. For example, if you ordered a pizza and you have 3 people in your house, one is a 2-year-old, one is a 5-year-old, and one is a 40-year-old. So doesn't mean that everyone get equal share of the pizza. They will get based on their age. Maybe a 1-year-old, 2-year-old can only eat maybe 1 slice, but a 40-year-old may need 3 slices of pizza. So fair means doesn't mean that everyone gets equal. Fair means they get what they deserve or what they need. So equality and equity are 2 different things. So here there are some scenarios that you will look at these, and you will make a judgment as to what should the kids do in each, what should Sana do in this situation, or what should these kids do in this situation. So you will analyze what it is to being a fair and just person. And here again there are some more situation. You read those situation and write down whether that was a fair, unfair, and you'll write F for fair or UF for unfair in this column. Okay, and then again this is a fun activity that helps you look at some of the good akhlaq terms that you can find in this word search. Being prepared. Now, here what we are looking for is whenever you have something that you need to work for example, if you have a softball game, you will eat healthy and exercise, and at the same time, you will make dua, lots of dua to help you in your to win the game. So, what would you do in your spelling bee? So, there's two things. So, what would you do yourself, and what will you do to ask Allah's help? And again, if you are in a Quran competition, what would you do to prepare yourself for the Quran competition? And what will you ask Allah's tawakkul or Allah's dua for in order to for you to win the Quran competition? And again, the math test. So this is that activity. And what's the scoop? We must do our best to follow the examples of our prophets, and some of the actions of the prophets are listed here. Find out how your classmate followed the example of the prophet. You need to interview a classmate to get their story, and either you can do this through your Google classroom, or you can call a friend, or it could be, it doesn't have to be a friend, you can do it with your cousins, and you will take an interview and write down the actions of the prophet, and then ask your friend to pick an action from the list that we just saw, and using the question, ask your classmates to tell you about the time they did the action they chose, and tell your classmates or your friend story. Then you can kind of say it'll become like a story once you finish the interview. And here you will read this story, underline all Zamir's bad deeds. So whenever while you're reading, underline all the bad deeds. And now rewrite this, complete the story by changing Zamir's bad deeds into good deeds. So you will rewrite that story by changing the bad deed to good deed. And here is a story of Johnny Appleseed, and you will read this and then reflect on your my charity will be, and then finish this charity. What do you think your charity is, and then you can finish this exercise. Now, using your tree chart, write a paragraph. Now, this charity that you have mentioned here, the points that you have written here, now you will make that into a story, and so it looks like a whole paragraph. And safety education, pick one rule from the list below and make a poster for that rule. So here's the list of things that are good akhlaq. What? Never ask a stranger to help you find the person you came with. And these are some things for safety, and these are good akhlaq to follow to keep ourselves and our siblings safe. So you can write down, draw a poster for that rule. And it's now here again, think of bad manners, and B for bossy. What are the bad manners? B for bossy, A for angry, D for, find bad words that you should not do and list them here. And again, this is the, good work, word search, where you're saying speaking the truth, obeying, you fill it on. And if you don't want to work on the word search, that's okay, as long as you fill in the blanks. Okay. Now, put a star by, these are the polite police, put a star by any of the behavior listed below that you think are polite. So you will see which ones are polite. And here is a letter that you will write, a letter to a pen pal. And this will get you writing, help you write a letter. And here, good friends. What do good friends look like? Look at the character traits at the bottom of the page here and decide if each is a good trait or a bad trait. So list them here. What do good friends look like and what does bad friends look like? And you can, this will help you make the good decisions, especially when you are choosing friends. Adab of friends, these are etiquettes, or what are some things to follow. Decide if each person is following the adab of friendship. So read the scenario and say, is he being a good friend or is she being a good friend? Okay. And again, adab or the etiquettes or procedures for having a good conversation, manners. Match the type of conversation on the right to the example of the conversation on the left. So here's that exercise which will help you understand, reflect upon what are some good akhlaq. And practice the adab of conversation. Finish the conversation below politely. So you will practice finishing the sentences in a polite manner. What have you learned? The answer why, after you finish that, you will answer these questions. Why is it important to have rules for talking? And what are some good behavior options when you're talking? What is backbiting? Why is that wrong? When what happens in that situation, how does it feel when people find out that they have some of their friends are talking behind their back? Why is it wrong? So you will write down these. So when you visit somebody, look at the picture below and decide which manners is being followed. So you will describe what are some of the good manners of being a good host or welcoming guest in your house. Amir was invited to Adil's house for dinner on Saturday night. Teach Amir the adab of being a good guest by placing an X next to the wrong action. So these are the actions that are there. You will place an X next to the wrong action. And again here, pretend that you are inviting a few friends to your home. Use the mind map below to plan out the detail. This will teach you how to be a good host and will help you plan a party when you are inviting a guest. Work with a partner and find similarity and differences between both of you. Then answer the questions on the next page. So we are all, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made us different, and this will help you see how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us differently. And Allah says in the Quran that He has created us differently in nations and tribes so that we may know and learn from each other. So even though we are different, we have strengths. So this activity will help you find your strengths in your friend or your cousin or your sibling. You can do this with any member of your family also. And then remember, Allah subhanahu said that we must be good to each other even if we are different, because we are all part of one big family. And using the previous page that you have answered, you will write down what you've learned about the partner that you were trying to compare the similarities and differences. List the traits, difference between them. List one thing that is similar about you and your partner. Explain how we are all one big family, because we are all children of Adam alayhi salam. So even if we are different, we are still the same family. And this is just another um, finding the right word and meaning of these words, put them in the right spot here. And that should be the end of your package. And inshallah, you have time, you have until March 31st to finish this activity, and we will see you soon inshallah, and have fun, and maybe finish 1 or 2 pages a day. And in next class we will talk. If you have any questions about the package, you can let me know. And my email is shaheen.khan@hadischool.org. So if you have any question, you can email me, you can Google message, you can use um, Google Classroom to ask me. And I am going to list my email here, like my name, shaheen.khan at hadischool.org. So you can email me as well. Okay, and I hope you're having a good vacation. Come, time off. At the same time, don't forget to read. And inshallah we'll see you soon next week. Take care. Khuda Hafiz. Fi amanillah.